Happy Friday, everybody, and happy Easter. Um, Sorry for no video last week. Life happened, got busy. But I did come up with something that I'd like to share that is maybe kind of boring, but important nonetheless, and really easy to implement thanks to GeneratePress, GenerateBlocks. So I've built out a simple team page, and you've probably all done this before, certainly seen this before. We have a custom post type that contains our content for each team member, and we're outputting them with GenerateBlocks with the query block. And there are different ways you can handle it, and this is one of the most typical. We have an image, we have the name, the title, and a link to read more to go to the bio. And this link might say read more, it might say learn more, but in general, it's fairly nondescript on its own. You only get the cues or clues rather to what it's for based on the context of where it is in relation to the name of the person, the photo, and that kind of thing. So I know if I click on this, I get the clue that it's going to take me to Han Solo's bio. This one will take me to Princess Leia's, and this one to Luke Skywalker's. So, but what if I were a visually impaired user, and perhaps I'm using a screen reader and I'm having a device read me the contents of the page? Then it gets a little different, because it's going to come down, and at full disclosure here, I've not tested this to the fullest extent, but I'm hoping it gets you interested in accessibility, because it's one of the great things about the web is we make this stuff, but we want to make it available to everyone. We want the biggest, widest audience possible, and we don't want to leave anyone out. So this, I guess, in particular, focuses on visually impaired users, blind users of the web, of the internet, that are wanting to browse websites just like we do. We being visually capable people. So a screen reader will read out the contents of the page and break it out by headings, and then they can choose which ones they want to dig down deeper in. So it may show them these things, or I'm sorry, it may read these things to them, like the image of Han Solo, his name, and smuggler. But then they get to a button that is read more, or they may get to the outer container element of this particular card, whatever you want to call it, and it'll tell them that there's one link that says read more, but they don't know anything about what the contents are yet. And again, I don't know. I haven't tested this on a screen reader. I'm going to show you something that I test with. But this link on its own doesn't really give any clues, unless it reads in the URL, I guess, and then you get the Han-Solo. But let me show you this little add-on for Chrome, for any Chromium-based browser. I'm using Edge. We're going to wave the page, and it's going to show us various things. For one, you can toggle styles on and off, and you can see how it looks with no styling. But I want to show you in particular this little piece down here, and click on details, and I get some alerts, and it's going to tell me that the heading should potentially be, the title of the site should be a heading. But anyway, we'll move on to the links. That's not a topic for discussion right now. So it's saying there are 3 suspicious links, and it's flagged them here, here, and here. Now, what does that mean? If I click on the little info piece here, it says the link text contains extraneous text or may not make sense out of context. And it goes on to explain exactly why this is questionable and why you probably want to fix it. In this little add-on, you can go to Yeah, you can also use this website, webaim.org, and just plug in your. I'm sorry, no, that's not it. Where's the tool? Well, anyway, there's a tool associated with this, and I'm sorry I don't have the link to it here. I'll try to put it in the description, but it is a browser add-on, because you saw that I could right click and tell it to wave this page to show me the information that it's getting. And I use this a good bit. It's a lightweight. It's not super in depth, but it can give me at least some big boo boos that my web page, some things that might be violating in terms of accessibility. So let's look at this in GenerateBlocks. So here are my team members, that post type, and I'm going to go to Elements and Team Archive Template, because that's all I'm doing. It's a block element, and I'm replacing the loop. So this is the archive page or whatever. So what I could do is change this to be more descriptive. So we could pull it dynamically, and let's get the post title, and let's say learn more about whoa, did I not didn't do that right. Or let's see, what did it do? Okay, we'll just say read more about, and get rid of these last two. Sorry, that was my bad. Okay, so let's save that and take a look. So we can do that dynamically, and that's pretty cool. You know what? And while we're at it, let's add an alt attribute to, there we go. We'll say image of post title, because the post title is the name. Let's save that and refresh that, close that tab. Okay, read more about Han Solo, read more about Princess Leia. So that's better, right? Oh, sorry. That's not what I meant to do. So let's wait. Let's wave the page again and see what we get. Okay. So, suspicious alternative text. Okay, so tell me I need to be more descriptive, potentially. Okay, I got that. But our warnings about these links did go away because we're being more descriptive about it. Read more about Han Solo. Read more about Princess Leia. Okay, but what if we don't want these big, long, honking buttons, and we want to keep it more redundant? Oh, I got that. Okay, yeah. So that's going to come here shortly. So let's try this, or let's stay here for a moment. But let's say another practice is, what if we don't want just this to be linked, but we want the image to be linked as well? So we're going to link the image, and we're going to link the name as well. Okay, post title, and we're going to link to what? Oh, link to the post. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I'm still getting used to the way these tags work, and it can be a little frustrating. I'll admit it. Okay, so now, just in case, we want to cover all our bases. We want the image to link, and the name, and the button, and all that. Okay, let's see what it says now. And now we get all these redundant links. Now, what does that mean? Why is it? Whoops. Yeah, that's the one I'm concerned about. So let's see what that says. Adjacent links go to the same URL when adjacent links go to the same location, such as a linked product image and an adjacent linked product name that go to the same product page, this results in additional navigation and repetition for keyboard and screen reader users. Wouldn't have thought of that. Because I did this all the time, and I didn't think anything of it. But so it can create more work. It has to read off all these links, and if they all go to the same place, it can be kind of confusing. So what do we do about that? And we still want to make this a great big clickable area. Well, we could go this route. Let's see. Let's disable these links. Let me do this again. We'll just start over, and we want that to be the post title. Yep. Okay. So something else we could do and still have our great big clickable areas, we could make this whole loop item. I think we can. No, we can't. We can't. We can't. Okay. So we're going to make a container. Add to container. No, I want to. Yeah, let's see. Add to container. Yep. Boom. No, wait. Undo. Does anybody else ever have a problem with this? The undo doesn't really undo. Yeah, I'm just going to refresh this. Yeah, we get the auto archive. Okay, so my image is, yeah, just the link. I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to reset that to just post title. Okay, what I want to do is link this entire card so that it makes the whole thing one big clickable link. And just a second. Yep, I'm a bonehead. I'd forgotten that it had changed, so I can actually choose what kind of tag this is or element, and it needs to be an A for an anchor. So it's going to make this whole thing hot. Now, I really don't need a link within a link. So the button, we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to make this a span. And we're going to reduce it to read more again. But, well, first let's fix our link here. So link destination is going to go to the post permalink. And yeah, all that stuff. Hang on. Let's generally I wouldn't worry about styling in a video like this, but we can make it black and font style. No. Here we go. Text decoration none. Just take care of that real quick. Okay, so let's take a look at that now. And so now this entire area is clickable, button and everything. So let's see what we get now. We still get the suspicious alternative text, redundant title text. Oh, we're still talking about the, yeah, because I've got my logo links to home and we have a link next to it called home that links to the same place. I get it. But here, so what's happening is, again, this whole thing links. But we can go a step further, and I'm not getting any warnings, and I'm not getting any errors about it. No errors. But still, I can imagine someone comes to this and there's not really any clues right off the bat as to, they're getting a link, they're getting where it goes to as far as the URL, but maybe we could provide a better clue as to what they're going to get or what this link is. So for one thing I'm going to do, this read more is really extraneous, and people that are using screen readers probably don't need it. So let's go to advanced. So I'm back under the settings portion. Advanced, let's go to HTML attributes, and let's go to ARIA, or let's add hidden equals true. So that's going to tell screen readers that this is an unnecessary element, but it'll leave it there as a visual cue for those who are sighted. So we can still see it. If I inspect it, you get this ARIA hidden equals true attribute. And let's wave this page again, and let's see what we get. Yeah, it tells us that this has been hidden, and you can look up the reference. You can see the code. Whoop. Yeah, I didn't build up the bio page. But if we look at the wrapping link element, I think we can do a little better. So we can use an ARIA label attribute, or even a title possibly. And again, this is on me. This is just kind of an introduction, I guess. This is not meant to be the be all end all of accessibility for the web by any means, but a title attribute might do it as well, because let's click on our loop item and go to the same place. So we can just keep adding attributes. So let's add title. And because we have these tags available, like post permalink, post title, we can say read more about post title. So now we get a title attribute added. And what that does, the native behavior is you get a little pop-up. So I don't know if that would be redundant, like that might be enough to make it more accessible. And I probably need to do this again with some better clues. Because it's not even really showing me anything. Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of wishing I would have done a better accessibility tool to show how these are actually working. But if anything, I'm showing you how you can do it in GenerateBlocks. So something else we could do is, since we have the visual cues for someone that's sighted, instead of a title, we could also use an ARIA label. Oh, I got you. Okay. And we refresh there, and let's go to the inspector. And if we look on that A element, the anchor tag, now we get ARIA label, read more about Han Solo. ARIA label, read more about Princess Leia. And you could even take this, or let's wave it real quick. Oh no, yeah, it is. So here's the ARIA label. It's just showing it at the bottom. Read more about Han Solo, read more about Princess Leia, read more about Luke Skywalker. features, alternative text, skip link, skip target, language. I wish it would show us. Oh, here's the ARIA labels. So we have ARIA hidden. Oh yeah, the drop downs. Yeah, the GeneratePress team does a great job. The theme is, they care about this stuff, and you can tell. They have ARIA labels, and let's take a peek. What does it mean? ARIA labeled by. Yeah, the labeled by can be paired with it when there are elements that go together, like a drop-down menu or an accordion feature where you click something, or tabs, where you click an element and it reveals another element, how they're related. ARIA labels define accessible names to be read by screen readers for interface elements. They may be used when HTML associations, label, alternative text, etc., are not sufficient. So that's good. And I would even dig deeper to see whether or not, we applied a title attribute first. That might have been enough. But if you don't want that little pop-up thing to happen when you roll over your card, the ARIA label is a good solution for that. But I was trying to think. There's one more thing that I thought I wanted to show. We've covered these all. Oh, I was going to say, so what you could do as well. So yeah, let's go one more step, because you can mark this up as a list, and that might even make it more accessible, because then it's read out as a list to a person who's visually impaired, who's using a screen reader, whatever. It might make it a little more accessible, easier to navigate. But we are going to have to change this being a link. So let's make this back into, actually, it's going to become a list item. And this is going to become an unordered list. And we're going to do a little bit of styling to get rid of this stuff. Where? Yeah, there's the list. Let's type none. This, we already made a list item, right? Is that what we did? Where did that get? Oh, it's over here. I'm sorry. I'm a bonehead. Yeah, UL, and that has a list item. So now let's wrap that in a container. We'll just move everything into that container. And we're going to make it an anchor element and have it link to our permalink. We're going to insert that, and we're going to do that styling again. Typography, no text decoration, and let's make it all black. Yeah, okay. So now we can apply. Is the ARIA attribute still applied to the loop item? It is. So I'm going to copy. No, I can type it. So we're going to go back to our link container and ARIA label, read more about post title. Okay, so this is the culmination of our hard work, the fruits of our labors. So now, if all went well, now we have an unordered list. So they get to this element, and they have a list that will be read to them, a list of items. And we could keep going at this, and of course it would be better. And I have some accessibility stuff, but I'm afraid to. Yeah, it's going to ask me to authorize. Yeah, maybe that's another video. We'll dig deeper into this, or let me know if you want to dig deeper into this. I find it really interesting. I like doing things the right way. Sometimes it's the details that really. Let me look at the structure. Back. Oh, it's not going to show the list. Well, that's crazy. You have an unordered list. That mega menu. Yeah, I've got something that works for that, but I don't know if that's going to. So this may be how it's read out from a screen reader. What is read by a screen reader? Yeah, okay, for all navigable page elements are listed. I should have read this more closely. Yeah, so this is how those links are read out, and then a user can choose how they want to read them. And if I had to guess, this is how the content is read to them. So actually that H4 should probably not be there. That should be just a div or a paragraph element, because the Han Solo is the main element. And I mean, they can go further into it, but he's the link. Yeah, I've got to get my hands on a screen reader to really know how this works. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this shed some light on this stuff. You may have never played with it. You may have, and just never had anyone else to nerd about with it. I really enjoy it, and it's something I do want to pursue. Some of the tools that you need for it to really dig into it are fairly expensive. I think Browser Stack has a new accessibility feature that was in my inspector, but I haven't actually paid for it yet. I used a free trial for a little bit to try it out. There are some great tools out there that will analyze your site, and of course, the best thing to do is to download a screen reader and set it up and have it do things for you. And you know what? My browser probably does it. There it is. Let's see. Is it working? Yeah, I probably shouldn't have gone down that road. I'll look into more of that, and I'd love to do some more videos on accessibility. So yeah, this is just an introduction, scratching the surface, trying to make our team cards more accessible. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you want to talk about this more? Do we want to dig deeper in accessibility and how to explore the best ways to solve these problems? It does add another layer. It does add more complexity, but I mean, so did responsive design when that came around. And accessibility has been around for longer than that. So anyway, hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.